Fred MacAulay's souvenir from Kylie after Larg's TV show. Famous Scottish comedian Fred MacAulay has an unusual memento from Kylie Minogue's visit to Largs in the 1990s during his popular McCoist and MacAulay show. The 61-year-old, who is returning to Barrfields Theatre for his one-man stand-up show on May 11, told the News it is a most unique piece of memorabilia from her visit to the Vikingar for the BBC1 Scotland show. "I had broken my leg," said Fred, and Kylie had signed the plaster cast. "I don't think anyone else can quite say that. I still have it in the loft somewhere." Having Kylie on the show was just incredible. It was one of those amazing things where everything just converged at the same time. It was perhaps the one and only time where we fell out with the producer, as we used to have these pre-production meetings, and in our show, we used to have the guests sitting in the audience while not on set. Our first question was to be, "Kylie, what the F ______ are you doing in Largs?" But the producer said you can't swear as it doesn't sit with the branding of the show, but it lessened the comedy effect, so we just had to ask Kylie what brought her to Largs. The odd thing about her visit, as many people will remember at the time, is that she had to rush off to Glasgow airport straight after broadcast as she was heading out to Australia to attend Michael Hutchence's funeral, as she was a former girlfriend of the INXS lead singer. It was early in the program's 3-year run, and the BBC team were particularly glad that their top guest showed after a no-show in their previous episode. Fred explained, "George Best was supposed to appear. He came up to Aberdeen with his wife, but for whatever reason he didn't turn up." Fred, who still keeps in touch with ally McCoist, and even a stage show return of McCoist and MacAulay has been mooted, is looking forward to his return to Largs. He said, "I really like Largs and have always had a good response from the audiences when I performed at the Comedy Church and Lounge with Raymond Mearns as compere. This new show at Barrfields is an hour and a half and gives me more of a chance, and I use the word advisedly, to expose myself to the audience. I try and keep my material fairly contemporary and keep an eye on what is happening politically, so with Brexit and Trump, it is something every comic in the land is talking about. There is also a wee bit of retro in how society has changed." Fred, still a well-known guest on a number of TV and radio shows including Have I Got News For You, Mock the Week, Just a Minute, The News Quiz, and I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, and also presented a daily morning show on BBC Radio Scotland for many years, a regular at Edinburgh Fringe, and with many tours under his belt, people around the UK and abroad will be familiar with Fred's humour. A mixture of satire and observational comedy has kept Fred at the forefront of the UK comedy scene for the last 3 decades. For tickets to see the show, go to www.ticketsource.co.uk/Barrfields. You can win a pair of tickets for the Fred MacAulay show when it comes to Barrfields. All you need to do is answer the following question: what was the name of the former Scotland football manager who appeared in the McCoist and MacAulay show in Largs? Email your answers under the heading Fred MacAulay Competition to editorial@largsnews.co.uk or hand in to the blue letter box at Morrison's Supermarket or Morrison's Supermarket by Sunday at midnight.